What's going on, Studio Chatter family? It's been a while since an episode has been uploaded. That is part of why I wanted to come on here and give you guys an update on everything that has been going on behind the scenes. When I started this show, I wanted it to be a space where artists, producers, songwriters, and other people in music could have a platform to share their stories and ideas with the world in a long-form show format. I am so thankful for each and every one of the awesome guests I've had. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. That said, me and the people I work with on this show have decided that in order to provide such an audience, not only for you guys, but for our guests, our overall brand, namely VIP Sound Circle, would need to expand beyond just this one show. I'll put it to you this way. There are quite a few people I've invited onto the show. Many of them I haven't heard back from. And sure, some of them might not like doing interviews. Some of them might not love podcasts. But the truth is that this podcast just simply doesn't have enough reach to entice a lot of them to come on. Now, the challenge is that there are only so many ways to grow an audience for a podcast. Yeah, getting bigger name guests will certainly help, but in order to get bigger name guests, you need a bigger audience. And in order to get a bigger audience, you need bigger name guests. You see the vicious circle in that? However, there is another way, and that is if I focus on growing the VIP Sound Circle brand. That way, once the brand itself has more reach, the podcast will as well. Not only that, but I would be in a much better position to serve the guests we bring on here. If we have a bigger audience, any guest that comes onto the show would have a much bigger audience to introduce themselves and what they've got going on too. So there are so many benefits to expanding the brand. And that is exactly what we've been working diligently on in the past several weeks. It's why you guys haven't seen much of me or heard much from me in recent weeks. I promise I'm not just laying in bed binge watching Netflix reruns. I'm doing a whole lot. And I'm about to share with you some of the cool things we have on the horizon in just a moment. But before I do, I just want to be clear that this is not the end of the Studio Chatter podcast. Quite the contrary. We want for the podcast to be bigger and better than ever. I love interviewing you guys and hearing from you all. Unfortunately, the only way for the podcast and for you guys to get the platform and the audience you deserve, we all deserve, is if we focus our attention, at least for right now, on expanding the reach of the brand. So let's get down to business. For those of you who are unaware, I once had a Twitch stream where I did music and provided feedback for those who wanted it on their music. They would send links to their works and progress, and I would give my feedback. Well, that stream is going to be making its return on October 18th, so you guys mark your calendars for that. Now, we're only going to start by streaming once a week, but it will be every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will provide an update on my Discord page to that effect very soon. And if you are not a member of my Discord, a link to that will be in the description below if you are watching this on YouTube. Also, you guys subscribe to the VIP Sound Circle TV channel on YouTube. If you're watching it right now, hit that subscribe button because this channel is going to get a lot more video updates. In fact, right now, that's been crazy because there's a lot of video that needs to be edited, and I'm in the process of doing that now. So the YouTube channel is going to be getting regular updates. A big one you will see is, in my opinion, the most detailed and largest scale video masterclass on vocal production and mixing you will ever be able to find on YouTube for free. I promise you guys, I've been working on this for weeks, and y'all are going to wonder why the hell I'm putting this out there for free. But we want to go above and beyond with the quality of content. I'm telling you guys, we've been working tirelessly on this. It isn't just me, but it's other people, some of whom have been guests on the podcast. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be multiple videos. I'm going to take you through mixing vocals for a record I've released from start all the way to finish. You're going to see everything. I'm going to have guests come on and they're going to provide breakdowns of tracks they've worked on. I'm hyping this up big because it's something I'm really proud of and it's something that I've always wanted to do. So that is currently in the works and we're hoping it can come soon, hopefully by the end of October. So yeah, there are definitely things in the works. And like I said before, the podcast, when it does come back, will be back and better than ever. I really hope we can kick things off again for season 3 of the podcast in early 2023. That's the plan right now. But before I get off of here, I want to deliver a special thanks to each and every one of the guests I've had on this show. Annie Elise, you were the first guest I had on. Your talent knows no bounds. I am so excited for everything you've got going on ahead of you, and I am so honored and proud to not only call you a friend, but a colleague. Brain Tan, dude, I love your music, and I'm so glad to call you a friend, bro. Hopefully we can link up soon, and I cannot remember the last time I literally DVR'd a commercial on the Super Bowl, but I did it for you, man. And in case some of y'all don't know, Brain 10 did music for an Irish Spring commercial for this year's Super Bowl. Sage, you are such a unique and interesting person who not only is a blast to hang out with, but somebody who I've loved being in the studio with. Your music is so freaking awesome, and thank you so much for coming on my show. Jay Herlock, one of the most talented young musicians I've gotten to know over the past 2 years. You are not only an incredible musician, but you are one of the nicest, most personable people I've met in this space. Sync.exe. I've been a big fan of your music for a long time and admire your musicianship. I admire your instincts and I admire your mind, but now I can say that you're a super cool person as well. Thank you so much. Josiah Soren. We did our interview live and in person. It was such a blast. So glad that you're seeing so much success with your music lately. I knew it was only a matter of time before it would catch up with you. And so I'm honored to have had you on my show. I need to come visit you soon too. Modern Lover. I had so much fun on the interview we had. I was supposed to be interviewing Blue Cloud that week, but he got tied up, but you stepped in at the last minute and it was a blast. Your music is absolutely incredible and I love everything you're doing. And I am going to be visiting LA soon, so I hope to see you when I get there. Blue Cloud, what a great interview with you, man. I have always loved your music so much, and I still to this day listen to it and just marvel at the attention to detail you put into your work. Getting to meet you for the first time on this show was so great, and thank you so much for coming on. Bad Snacks. Or shall I say now, Professor Snacks at this point. There are people in this world who really do make everybody's lives better, who just make everybody around them happier and just bring joy to people. And you are one of those individuals. Berkeley is so lucky to have you. Thank you so much. We did our interview really early in the morning, and you were so awesome, my friend. Thank you so much. Keely Bumford, Dressage, you are so amazing. I am so glad we got to do the interview. And boy, did you share it everywhere after. I mean, it was one of the most, I think it was the most listened to episode that we ever did. And special thanks to Aunt Shay for being a great guest as well on that episode. It was one of my favorite episodes to record. I could talk to you two forever. And it was amazing. Thank you so much. Magda Helena. All right, so here's the thing, guys. This is the only interview I ever did. Magda Helena was the only interview I ever did that I absolutely did not prepare for at all. I had no notes, nothing. And it's also the only interview that was uploaded completely unedited. I just hit record and talked to this extraordinary DJ and producer who is legit one of my best friends. Thank you so much, Magda. Imagero, and I'm pronouncing the name right, one of the most innovative and talented in the chill music space. I remember we had a bit of a tough time scheduling the interview because of time zones, but it was such a joy to have you on, and thank you so much for coming on my show. Snow Aster. Snow, you know how much I admire your work. I'm a huge fan of your creative process, and you have such a brilliant mind for music. Getting to know you and your work has been so inspiring, and I knew I had to get you on. Thank you so much for coming on my show. Nydia, you are quite the character on social media, my friend, and such a cool and awesome person offline as well. Your music is just lovely, and it was such a blast to get to know you on the podcast. Thank you for taking time out to come on and keep entertaining us with your Twitter account. We love it. Alex Heflin, I got so many requests to have you on as a guest, and I'm glad we finally worked out a time for you to come on. It was an honor to learn your creative process and get to know you as well. Thank you so much for coming on to my show. Electrolyte Orchestra. Scheduling this one was an absolute nightmare because of time zones. If you guys don't know, Electrolyte Orchestra is in Australia. But it was so worth it because you are somebody whose music I have admired since I've met you. Thank you so much, man. Really fun interview. Lindy and Sarah Mora, Holdra, you guys were super gracious to come on the show, and shout out to Modern Lover for sending you guys over. We had some technical hiccups early on, but I really thank you guys for your patience, and we had an awesome interview. So cool what both of you guys are doing these days, and y'all's record, Rari, is still an absolute banger. Thank you so much, both of you. Nico Santos, I have to say, you were so patient with me because I ended up literally missing the time we had scheduled and stood you up for the interview. But of course, you know, being the awesome and wonderful person you are, you rescheduled for me. We had an amazing interview, and it was also one of the most listened to episodes. I love your music and your innovative style, and you are one of the coolest and most interesting people I have ever met. Thank you so much. Neon Vines. At the time we did the interview, we barely knew each other. But since then, we've laughed together, we've cried together, we've vibed together. I couldn't have picked a better person for my season 1 finale, and the interview we did turned out awesome. And I'm so glad you're back and in good health. Your comeback is going to be so amazing, and I can't wait to see it. Igaido, my good brother from Ireland, I have always enjoyed your music. I've always enjoyed your good nature, but I'm so glad I got to finally meet you on the podcast. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on and have this interview with me. I loved the interview that we had, and I hope if I ever visit Ireland to pay you a visit. Cool Fury, let me tell you, man, we have been working together since 2012, and one thing that has not changed is your ability to make me think. Such an honor to have you not only as a colleague, but to have had you as a guest on my show. Thank you so much. Jet Galindo, having you on my show was such an honor. All that you've accomplished in this business, and you come to my neck of the woods, it was great. And the interview went so well. It did really well too. It's one of the most listened to episodes that we ever did. So thank you so much, Jet. Alvinos, what can I say, man? Your music really just takes me places. And so I was pretty adamant about having you on my show. Since then, not only have I gotten to know you better, but I've gotten to work with you too, and it has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Alvinos. Kevin Chung. Kevin, I am so proud of everything you've accomplished in your career, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule to come on my show. I hope LA is treating you well, and the next time you come to Atlanta, we need to chill at the Waffle House like old times. Zoff, you are quite the talent, my dear, I must say. Just incredible productions. Your latest single, wow, so good. Thank you for coming on my show and allowing me to interview you. I can't wait to see what you've got in store for us later on down the line, but I gotta say, getting to know you was a blast. Little Boy Aaron, loved having you on, man. Incredibly talented producer, and not only that, super nice guy. Thank you so much, Aaron, for coming on my show. Aunt Shay, dude, let me tell you, you have not only been a great friend, but somebody who has just been such an influence on me as a musician and as a person. In case you guys didn't know, it was Aunt Shay and Magda Helena who got me into using Ableton. I wanted to have you on for so long. Awesome musician and producer and an amazing person. I'm going to be in LA soon. We're going to hang out. We're going to chill. Love you so much, man. Toru Beats, all the way from Mexico City. We had so many technical difficulties for this interview, but thank you so much for being patient, Toru. I really am glad that I got to know you, and I had never heard of you, sadly, prior to Aunt Shay turning me on to you. Your music is fantastic, and so are you, my friend. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy to see you having the success that you're having. Stelexine, having you on my show was so much fun. It's always a blast talking to you, and it was no different during the interview. You are such a talented producer and composer, and I thank you so much for taking time to come on my show. Hedge Knock, so many people requested having you on. Scheduling was crazy for this one, and believe it or not, this was one of the most listened to episodes in all of season 2, guys. So many of y'all wanted this one to happen. Hedge Knock, not only have I had the pleasure of getting to know you, but I've also had the pleasure of working with you. You're a phenomenal talent, and it was such an honor to release your debut album with us at VIP Sound Circle. And last but not least, Mini Bear. Scheduling for this show was also a bit of a doozy because Mini Bear is one of the busiest people on the face of the planet. I don't know how this person has time to even breathe, but Mini Bear is so busy. So scheduling this one was crazy, but I loved your energy in this, and I love everything you're doing and what you're about. You're talented, you're fun, and you're a good-hearted person whose music is such a fun and cool vibe. Couldn't wait to interview you, and it was worth it. Thank you so much. And thanks to all of you who listened to the podcast. Like I said, when we come back, we will come back better than ever. But I want you all to stay tuned because there are going to be a whole lot of cool things that we have been working tirelessly on for the past several weeks on the horizon. Y'all are going to be seeing a lot more of me. But as of right now, this is not goodbye. It's just we'll see you later. Thank you all so much, and I love you guys.